There is Purush Bhagavad and there is Pustak Bhagavad. There is Book Bhagavad and there is Person Bhagavad. So Book Bhagavatam is what we read. And Person Bhagavad is the one who follows the Book Bhagavad. So when we serve him, that's also Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So we get the same benefit. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorified Srimad Bhagavatam so much. The devotees were enjoying the nectar and floating in bliss. But he was chastising Devanand Pandit. And because Devanand Pandit, even though he taught Bhagavatam from his childhood to thousands of students, but he was not devotee. So he was dry speculator. And he would teach Bhagavatam for money. And that's considered very, very offensive. Anybody who gives a Bhagavatam class for money, that class is of no value. Or anybody leads Kirtan for money, that is of no value. If you want to earn money, better clean the street. Better beg on the street. Do some honest work. But don't sing Kirtan and give a Bhagavatam class to earn money. The professional Kirtaniyas or professional reciters of Bhagavatam who earn, that is very, very offensive. Bhagavatam is not meant for our day-to-day bread or day-to-day earning or day-to-day sense gratification. No, Bhagavatam is not meant for that. By chanting Hare Krishna without offenses and by reading and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, we can get Krishna Prem. Why settle for $10 or $100? When you can get Krishna Prem, which is higher, why settle for lower? It's foolishness. Complete foolishness. So one should not try to earn through devotional service. Then that is not devotional service. That is karma. The brahmachari is taking money to do kirtan or class or puja. Then he is not brahmachari. He is karmachari. There is a difference. That is, instead of Krishna Prem is getting salary. So when will you get Krishna Prem? Next life. This life gone. So we should not earn money through Krishna consciousness. We should give to Krishna, not take from Krishna. We already taken enough. And the day you start giving, your love starts. Love starts by giving, not by taking. We give to Krishna. So Devanand Pandit was a professional reciter, not a devotee, giving Mayavad interpretation and speaking on Srimad Bhagavatam to earn money. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was upset with him, even though he was a big scholar and famous teacher. So much so that by glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam and by criticizing Devanand Pandit, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to the point that Srivas, just now you look, I will go in his ashram and tear his book. Chaitanya was going to tear his notes and book. Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that if all the libraries and all the books in the world burn and Bhagavatam survives, there is no loss in the world. There is no loss. Bhagavatam is vision. So somehow devotees restricted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this mood of going and tearing the book. And they moved forward. After a few days, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again was on the street, actual Devanand Pandit came in front of him. Chaitanya became very angry. He said, "You Devanand Pandit, you teach Srimad Bhagavatam for money and you have no devotion and you have no practice of bhakti and your students have no devotion and you claim to teach Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is full of pure devotional service, but you don't even understand the purport of Bhagavatam." Then he recalled. Chaitanya said, one day you were teaching in your ashram and hundreds of students were there hearing your class and the sound was coming on the road. on the street. And my dear Srivas Pandit was going on the same street, and he heard some slokas of 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam describing the beautiful form of Shyam Sundar. He got attracted, so he came inside the school. And when he heard the shloka that Krishna is very beautiful, wearing a peacock feather and playing a flute with yellow dhoti and lotus petal-like eyes, walking in the forest of Vrindavan, decorated with beautiful flowers, Srivas had tears in his eyes, and his body started trembling, and hair started standing. And Srivas fell down unconscious, but his body was still trembling. So all the students got distracted, and they thought, who is this person disturbing our class and wasting our time? And 4 students got up, took Srivas by hands and legs and threw him on the street. And Devan Pandit saw all this and he stopped. So Srivas, when he came out of unconsciousness, in his ecstasy, he was very hurt, very deeply hurt that they threw me on the street. And he went back home with that hurt. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is super soul Paramatma. He knows Srivas' condition. So Chaitanya got very upset. He said, just like Guru doesn't have devotion, the disciples also don't have devotion. You don't have devotion, so the students don't have devotion. What was the mistake of Srivas? He heard your shloka recitation and he got ecstasy, but you didn't understand his ecstasy. You thought he's disturbing the class. You didn't stop your students to do offense. So he chastised Devana Pandit like anything. Devana Pandit didn't speak anything. He just silently heard everything and left the place. So Devana didn't have much faith on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he was not having any devotee association. So later on, Devana Pandit, of course, he continued and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave love of Godhead to everybody in the village, but not to Devana Pandit. So one day, Vakreshwar Pandit is a very dear devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who would be very expert in singing and dancing in Hare Krishna Kirtan. So much so that Vakreshwar Pandit once danced in Kirtan non-stop 72 hours. 72 hours he danced in Kirtan. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, chanting and dancing. We should do that more and more. Chant the holy name. Japa, which means on our mala, minimum 16 rounds. Sometimes more rounds also you can do. Nobody will punish you for that. You know, GBC has passed a resolution, which generally they don't inform the devotees. Management should inform all the resolution to all the devotees. So GBC passed one resolution. Did I tell you?
Yeah.
It's getting recorded, yeah? Krishna Das Bindas. So they have passed the resolution that devotees in ISKCON are allowed to chant more than 16 rounds. Yeah, it's allowed. If you want to improve your chanting, chant more. When we chant more, our regular 16 rounds improve. Chant and hear Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Holy name is not different from Krishna. And dance in Kirtan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is like that. So Chaitanya was so happy with Vakreshwar Pandit. He said, if I have one more devotee like Vakreshwar Pandit, I will fly. Generally, we have right hand, left hand. He said, right wing, right, left wing. Not I, you are my hand, you are my wing. And if I have one more like you, I will fly. You can chant and dance all day. So once Vakreshwar Pandit came in the village where Devanand Pandit was staying. And on the street, there were some devotees on the street singing holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And Golukeshwar got attracted and he started dancing. And he started dancing half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 5 hour, 6 hour, 8 hour, dancing. Such a big crowd got collected. Golukeshwar dancing is very attractive. And in great ecstasy, tears coming from his eyes, hair standing, body trembling. He would sometimes jump so high, he would jump and he would fall as if his bones are breaking. And he'd get up, roll on the ground, and laugh and cry and dance. So very big crowd got collected on the street. And whenever he would jump, the crowd will come forward to touch his feet. And that would disturb his dance. So Deval Pandit was on the same crowd. And he saw everybody disturbing his dance. He took a stick and he went all around the crowd. Said, don't touch him, let him dance. And for hours he carried that stick so that Golukeshwar dancing is not disturbed. And somehow he did as Vaishnava Singh. So the evening when the kirtan stopped and the crowd left, Deval Pandit requested Golukeshwar, come my home, it's nearby, take bath there and I'll give you prasad. Golukeshwar said, okay. He went and stayed there for a couple of days. And in these days, Golukeshwar Pandit and Deval Pandit had a talk. And Golukeshwar Pandit explained about Bhagavatam and explained about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And by serving Golukeshwar Pandit, Deval Pandit got the purport of Bhagavatam. By serving Golukeshwar Pandit, he had faith on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Supreme Personality of Godhead, not different from Krishna. See, Deval Pandit learned Bhagavatam from childhood, but he never got devotional service. But once he served a pure sadhu, pure devotee, then he got bhakti. That's the way to get bhakti. We can get bhakti from a bhakta. You can get devotional service from a devotee. One who is a pure devotee, only he can give us bhakti. Bhakti is not obtained by jnana, knowledge, by karma, fruitive activities, by tapasya, austerity, or by puja, or by dana, or by any such rituals. Bhakti is independent of any activity. Bhakti is obtained only by Ashirvad, who is Krishna conscious. Even Krishna cannot give us bhakti. You know, one very secret thing I will tell you. Krishna is not Krishna conscious. He is not whole day thinking of himself. He doesn't follow that verse. He doesn't pay obeisances to himself. He doesn't do arti to himself. So Krishna's devotees are Krishna conscious. So if you want Krishna consciousness, you will not get from Krishna, because he is not Krishna conscious. You get from a devotee. If you want a diamond in somebody's pocket, whom should you approach? The diamond or the person who owns the diamond? So Krishna is the diamond we want. He is sitting in the pocket of his devotees. So we don't approach Krishna, we approach his devotees. If you are a devotee of Krishna, you may or may not get liberated. But if you are a devotee of Krishna's devotee, 100% you will get liberated. Haribol! Because Krishna's devotees are so merciful that even little service done to them, they bless us. They don't see our faults. So following the instructions of a devotee of Krishna is more valuable even following the instructions of Krishna. Yasya prasada bhagavad prasada. When we please the pure devotee or a spiritual master, we please Krishna. That's the secret of bhakti. That's the secret of progress in Krishna consciousness. To do Vaishnava Seva, to be attached to a devotee of Krishna. So Devanand Pandit got this opportunity. He served Vakreshwar Pandit. He spent time with Vakreshwar Pandit, hearing. And that's the most important thing we can do with a devotee here. Pariprashnena sevaya. To ask questions and to hear and to serve. And by that hearing, we get self-realized. And by that service, we get spiritual progress. That's the most important part of the relationship with the devotee, with sadhus, with spiritual master. Pariprashnena sevaya, to ask questions, to hear, and to offer menial service, and to obey the instructions. When we obey the instructions of devotees, Krishna is pleased. So when we chant 16 rounds, Krishna is not pleased because you are doing pure chanting. Whatever chanting will please Krishna. But is pleased because we are obeying the Guru. That obedience is pleasing Krishna. We are obeying the founder Acharya of ISKCON, who has created the standard for minimum 16 rounds. That obedience to Guru and Acharya is pleasing Krishna rather than our so-called chanting or so-called activity or whatever we are doing. If Prabhupada says, don't chant, and you chant, will Krishna be pleased by that chanting? No, because it disobeys. When Krishna Balram temple in Vrindavan Dham was being constructed, there was a shortage of cement in India. The devotees had tough time and they were not getting cement in the market, even at higher price. So finally they had to approach the government. And it took lots of bureaucracy, and finally government released the cement for ISKCON construction. And they released all together. So the cement came in train in Mathura station. Many bags of cement came. So from morning till night, whole day, trucks would keep coming from Mathura station to ISKCON temple with bags of cement. Whole day trucks would keep coming. So Prabhupada appointed one devotee to make sure unload all the bags and take a notebook and pen and write 1 bag, 2 bags, every single bag Prabhupada told him to count as if it is gold. Prabhupada was so concerned about getting the cement because it was not available in the market and he wanted to open the temple. He had implied a very big politician on the opening day. But if the temple is not constructed, then it cannot be good. So they made a tent and one bag they would unload and this devotee will sit and write 1, 2, 3, whole day, morning till evening, counting cement. And Prabhupada multiple times came on that location just to see the cement coming, getting unloaded, counting done, kept properly, as if it's gold. Multiple times Prabhupada came to see it. In the evening, still the cement is coming. This devotee got tired counting. Prabhupada came, he went to Prabhupada. He said, Prabhupada, I didn't join ISKCON to count cement. I joined to chant Hare Krishna. Instead of counting Hare Krishna, I'm counting cement. I will leave. Prabhupada got very angry. Said, what do you think? Arjuna was chanting Hare Krishna in the battlefield? Go and count cement. Then Prabhupada explained this is emergency service. However busy you are, you should manage to chant your rounds. You may be very busy, but you manage to eat. You manage to take shower. You manage to go to toilet. You manage to chant your rounds. So I think Tamal Krishna Maharaj asked Prabhupada, but what if somebody is very busy in service? He has no time to chant. Prabhupada says, sleep 2 hours less. 2 hours, 16 rounds, sleep less. So one should not give up chanting, of course. Sometimes there are emergencies. Prabhupada explained the emergency situation. So obeying Srila Prabhupada is pure devotional service, not doing what I want to do. Obedience is very important. And Krishna is pleased when we obey a devotee. So that kind of life we should have, where we are performing bhakti and our duties under the guidance of pure sadhus, pure devotees. So Devana Pandit got to serve Golukeshwar Pandit and hear from him and ask questions, so he developed faith on Chaitanya. So after sannyas, Chaitanya came to the village of Kulia, and all the villagers came to meet him. And Devana Pandit also came. Now Devana Pandit had realized his mistake, that he had offended Srivas Pandit, and he had realized the purport of Bhagavatam is for practicing pure devotional service. And he realized that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the meantime, he went and begged forgiveness from Srivas Pandit. This is also an important lesson, that if we offend a devotee, then only that devotee can forgive us. So we have to go back to that devotee and beg forgiveness. Otherwise, the aparadha is not settled. And if offense is not settled, we cannot go back to Godhead. We cannot get Krishna prem. That offense will block our progress. So we should not do Vaishnava aparadha. We should not offend devotees. But we are imperfect. We may end up offending. So we should pay obeisance, beg forgiveness, and clearly sort it out. Any misunderstanding is there. Many times somebody is upset because of us, somebody is disappointed. We should beg forgiveness. We do mistake in worshipping Krishna. We do mistake in serving devotees. We should beg forgiveness and clear it up, so that there is no backlogs. When we are about to die, if some offenses are pending, not forgiven, then we cannot go back home. We'll have to take next birth, and the next birth we'll have to beg forgiveness. But how will we access that soul? So it will continue like that. So it's important. Make the account zero, then zero. If you offend somebody, go and ask forgiveness. If you are disappointed upset on somebody because of their behavior, just forgive them. Finish it. Don't keep it in your heart for hours and long years together. At 10 years before Janmashtami, he didn't give me gulab jamun. Don't keep anything in your heart. Just forgive and forget. So he begged forgiveness from Srivas Pandit. Now he was clear. So when the whole village of Kulia came to seek blessings from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Devana Pandit also came. Very humbly, feeling very guilty. He was standing in the corner with eyes low, head low, embarrassed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called him. And he came and paid obeisances to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu forgave him. He said, I forgive you because you served my Golukeshwar Prabhu. Because Golukeshwar Pandit gave blessings to you, so I am giving blessings to you. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Namo Mahavadanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura. He is so merciful. But he didn't give mercy to Devana Pandit unless Golukeshwar Pandit gave mercy. The same thing happened with Sachi Mata. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Mayapur gave Krishna Prem to everybody, but he told all the devotees, I am giving Krishna Prem to everybody, but my mother will not get. They said, why? She is mother of you, that means mother of the universe. She said, she is Vaishnava Aparadhi. She is an offender. And those who offend Vaishnavas, they don't get Krishna Prem. All the devotees were surprised. Impossible. How can Sachi Mata offend somebody? She lovingly feeds all the devotees prasad every day. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained that when my elder brother, he used to go to the satsang programs, house programs of Advaita Acharya. And Advaita Acharya used to preach to him. And when he grew up, he took sannyas. So sometimes I also used to go to Advaita Acharya as a small boy. So my mother was crying. And she was thinking, this Advaita, He made my elder son sannyas. Now he spoiled my younger son also. He will also take sannyas. How will I live? So she spoke negatively about Advaita Acharya, that he will make my younger son also sannyasi. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, because she spoke negatively about Advaita Acharya, that's Vaishnava aparad. And unless this aparad is cleared, she will not get Krishna Prem. Everybody else will get. So all the devotees were surprised. Sachi Mata heard this, she felt fainted. She felt unconscious. Advaita Acharya heard this, he started crying. He said, Sachi Mata never offended me. It is never there in my heart. I never thought of her like that. She is my mother. She is Krishna's mother. So Sachi Mata decided, I will touch the feet of Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya said, impossible. I cannot allow her to touch my feet. So there was no solution. So one day Advaita Acharya and all the devotees were dancing in the in the house of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And dancing is happening, Advaita Acharya felt unconscious. When Advaita Acharya felt unconscious, Sachi Mata got a chance, she went and touched the lotus feet of Advaita Acharya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw this, he immediately gave Krishna Prem to Sachi Mata. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught through his own mother that if we offend a devotee, we have no chance. So chanting without offenses, doing bhakti without offenses means being careful, not to offend devotees, not to hurt devotees. That doesn't mean we be sentimental. Some devotees need to be corrected sometimes. But there's a way to do it without offending. And senior authorized person can correct. Not the whole crowd starts correcting a devotee. That is offensive. That's not the way. Or whole crowd, instead of correcting him, for days together gossip about him and discuss his faults. That's offensive. So, just like if you follow the rules of the traffic, that's a safe driving. You will not do accident. In the same way, Vaishnava etiquette we follow. That's a safe way to practice bhakti, so we don't do offenses. That's why we should practice bhakti under proper guidance, so that we are corrected when required. And when we are corrected, we grow. Otherwise, we remain with bad habits and Krishna consciousness till the end of life. Then how will we go back to Godhead? So Chaitanya Prabhu, Devanand Pandit, because Golukeshwar Pandit blessed you, so I am blessing you. Can you please practice pure devotion? Devanand Prabhu started crying. He said, my dear Lord, I offended you. I offended Srivas. I offended Bhagavatam. I didn't know what is Bhagavatam. And since childhood, I was teaching Bhagavatam for money. But you know, my Lord, now I cannot do anything else. Since years, I have been teaching Bhagavatam. So I want to continue my school and teach Bhagavatam. But how do I teach Bhagavatam now? You please instruct. Give me water. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed him how to give a Bhagavatam class, which is applicable to all of us at ISKCON. How to give a Bhagavatam class. Is that interesting? You are giving, or if you will give in the future, you should note this down. You have pen and paper, note it down. How to give a Bhagavatam class. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said Srimad Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. Srila Vyasadeva, he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. Before that, he wrote all the 4 Vedas, 18 Puranas, 108 Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, everything, all the scriptures. Even after writing all the scriptures, he was despondent, he was sad, he was not happy. So Narad Muni visited his ashram and he gave Narad Muni a raised seat and sat at his feet. And he asked him this question, my dear Guru Maharaj, I have written Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra. I have done so much service for the welfare of the future of mankind. But I am not feeling happy. I am feeling sad. What is the purpose of this? Narada said it's because you have indirectly written in your scriptures for people's benefit how to do productive activities, how to go to heavenly planets, how to do sense gratification, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. But you have not directly glorified Krishna's name, Krishna's sweet name, and Krishna's beautiful form, and Krishna's transcendental qualities, and Krishna's wonderful pastime. So you write a separate literature only glorifying Krishna, then you will be satisfied. That is the real benefit of the mankind. So Srimad Bhagavatam was explained by Narad Muni to Vyasdev. Narad Muni told his own life story of how he became Narad Muni. The next day morning, Vyasdev again sat in chanting and meditation. And he had darshan of Govind. And he saw Govind's energies, the Maya Devi behind Govind. He got more mature in spiritual realization than he was before, while he wrote the Vedas and Puranas and Upanishads. And in his higher maturity, when he got more revelation of the absolute truth, he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is not an ordinary literature. It's written by the same author who wrote Vedanta Sutra in his higher maturity in Krishna consciousness, where he was revealed the absolute truth by the mercy of Narad Muni and by his own efforts. Govind gave him darshan, and he got the revelation of Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes. Nam, Rup, Gun, Leela. And he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. You know what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told about Bhagavatam? In fact, Lord Shiva told. Lord Shiva told, I know Srimad Bhagavatam. Sukadeva Goswami knows Srimad Bhagavatam. Vyasdev may or may not know. Vyasdev is the one who wrote it. But he may or may not. Because Bhagavatam is such a high literature. And Sukadeva Goswami, when he speaks Bhagavatam, Pibatam, it is like sweet juice. Like the most important part of a tree is the fruit, mango fruit. So all Vedas is a tree. All Vedic literature, Puranas, Upanishads is a tree. And the fruit, ripe fruit is Bhagavatam. And what did Sukadeva Goswami do? He made juice out of it. Mango fruit is very nice. Juice is much better. So Sukadeva Goswami made a tank of juice. Anybody can drink. And what Prabhupada did? He put it in a glass and gave us. Just drink it. Pibatam by your ears. If you just give oral reception, submissive oral reception to Srimad Bhagavatam, emanating from the lips of a pure devotee, you can see Krishna face to face on each page of Bhagavatam. That's not ordinary. You can see Krishna on the pages of Bhagavatam just by giving 2 ears. Is that an easy investment? Just sit in the class and hear. And let Bhagavatam absorb in your ears, to your heart, and you will see Krishna face to face. Parikshit Maharaj did that. 7 days and night he heard Bhagavatam. And at the end he went back home, back to Godhead. So hearing Bhagavatam is very nice. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained to Devanand Pandit how to give a Bhagavatam class. So he told, whenever you give a Bhagavatam class, you divide it into 3 parts. Please listen carefully. The beginning part, the middle part, and the end part. Divide the Bhagavatam class into 3 parts. In the first part, one should speak only about pure devotional service. Why? Because Srimad Bhagavatam is only about pure devotional service. Nothing else is there. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. After that, Srimad Bhagavatam starts. The second verse of Srimad Bhagavatam said this literature is beyond Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, beyond Kaitava Dharma. Nirmat Saranam, for those who are not envious and those who only want to know truth, they will receive benefit by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And they will be free from illusion. The prime duty of Srimad Bhagavatam is to differentiate between illusion and reality. To distinguish between illusion and reality. So Srimad Bhagavatam class divided into 3 parts. Beginning, middle, end. In the beginning, one should only talk about pure devotional service. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, the end, when you end the class, one should talk only about pure devotional service. Because Bhagavatam is full of pure devotional service. Now the middle, most important middle part. Chaitanya said, middle you should talk only about pure devotional service. Because Bhagavatam contains only pure devotion. Right? There is nothing else in Bhagavatam. One should not sit on Vyasasana to discuss anything else. To discuss the news he read yesterday. Or share the WhatsApp joke he read yesterday, forwarded to him. Or try to tell a new story which he read to impress his audience. Or tell something new so that audience knows I am a scholar, I read new books. Or to chastise somebody whom he couldn't chastise in the meeting directly. Or to bring out a management issue that yesterday this happened with me and that devotee did like this and I told him like that. Or try to sit on Vyasasana to earn money, earn respect, earn disciples, that if I give a nice class, they will understand I'm a nice scholar and they will invite me next time to give class. Or I'll become famous in New Zealand as a good speaker. Or I'll get some more disciples, they will take initiation from me after hearing my class. Or they'll become my followers and they'll offer me obeisances and garlands and envelopes and dakshina and invite me for some nice puri halwa. Don't use Vyasasana for this. Come on, don't waste such a nice opportunity to please Krishna to go other than pure devotional service. No mental speculation, no karma, no glorification of demigods, no self-glorification indirectly saying, I am a very humble servant. No, Bhagavatam is not for that, to try to advertise yourself or try to advertise your advancement. Bhagavatam is not for that. Vyasasana is not for that. Vyasasana is for very, very humble service to glorify Krishna and his incarnations and his devotees and the principles of pure bhakti, pure devotional service. Vyasasana should not be used for anything else. If you want to achieve anything else in life, outside Vyasasana you do in a meeting room or on the road, on money, on followers, on disciples, on respect, on obeisances, but not by Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam should not be used for such things. That's using a very big amount for a very small thing. Bhagavatam can give us Krishna prem and we use it for some name and fame. The Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, fame is like stool of a pig. Pig eats stool. And pig stool, that's fame. And somebody runs behind that. What a foolish person. When nectar is available, Krishna prem is available. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Devanand Pandit that only practice pure devotional service. That's the purpose of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu incarnating. And that's the purpose of Srila Prabhupada starting ISKCON. Only for pure devotional service, nothing less. You come to ISKCON and do something to get something less, then we got cheated. When we could have got more. When you could have got profit of $500, but you got only $1, you got cheated. So when you can get Krishna prem, but you got just name and fame and wealth, you got cheated. So there's something higher than that. We should not settle for anything less. We want only Krishna prem, only Krishna's pleasure, only devotee's pleasure, nothing else. That's pure devotional service. Anya abhilashita shunyam. No more material desires. If we do that, we go back to Krishna. Otherwise, one more birth. The next level, you will have to practice again. And you have to live again, birth, death, old age, disease. That's foolishness. Why to miss this opportunity? So we should be very purely practicing our bhakti as per principles of Bhagavatam, which is pure devotional service. Okay? We'll end here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Any comments or questions? Please ask. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you so much. I have a question. In the end, you were talking about giving a class, and you have to be basically very pure to give a class, or at least your motivations have to be very pure. You can't have any motivation for self-aggrandizement, etc. But what to do, because I feel, at least for myself, those things are automatic, they're just in me. So does it mean I should not give a class?
Well, we don't give class for fulfilling our motivations. We give class to purify our motivations. So when we are giving class, we speak only pure devotional service, and we don't directly or indirectly speak in such a way that people get attracted to my scholarship, my advancement, or somehow my motivations are getting fulfilled. You see the difference? So we sit on Vyasasana to purify ourselves of the motivations, rather than sitting on Vyasasana to fulfill our motivations. So definitely everybody who is authorized to give class should give with a desire to purify oneself, rather than advertise oneself. Okay. So to give on behalf of the spiritual master as a service, not as a claiming that I am on that level, but as a service we do. Next question. Yes, Prabhu.
The book Bhagavatam and Prasad Bhagavatam is there. These days, the Bhagavatam is also available in a digital form, with smartphone. So is there any difference between Bhagavatam on the phone or from the actual book?
No difference. Bhagavatam is Bhagavatam. But when we read on phone, we have some other notifications also coming. So better to read a book. But there's no difference. Whether Bhagavatam is in mobile or in shelf, same thing.
We are carrying Bhagavatam in its phone, where it goes.
Yeah.
Krishna is.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
All right. Is it possible to read the whole Srimad Bhagavatam in one's lifetime?
Yes, why not?
A lot of books.
No, it's not so much. One can read. So many devotees have read. We have read. It's possible. Just stop reading forwards on WhatsApp. They will have time. When mobiles were not there, now suddenly mobiles are there. We got time to read WhatsApp and Facebook and other. From where did the time came? We just have to start reading. Become a sage by page. So you should read. Everybody should have a set of Srimad Bhagavatam. In fact, we're happy to know it's called at this Bhadra Purnima campaign. So in India, we have thousands of students who are giving free Bhagavatam because they can't afford. And they are all reading. If anybody has extra spare Bhagavatam or spare money or Bhagavatam, they can provide us. We put in libraries, we go in villages, and we give to sincere devotees who can't afford, and they keep whole set in the life. And one Bhagavatam goes to somebody's house, it stays there for years and years. Nobody throws them, of course, and they don't become old. Even if new is printed, old has still value because there's no change. I myself am reading Bhagavatam, which is 25 years old. Still there with me. I took it from 3 different libraries, in few cantos and collected, and it's still there with me. I'm reading it in my room. So that's very nice service. We should read Bhagavatam. It's possible. If you read 40 pages every day, you can read it in 1 year. Read 20 pages, read in 2 years. Read 10 pages, read in 4 years. Yes.
When we have immediately, we do not have association of devotees, suppose I'm alone. So is it proper to read Bhagavatam alone?
Yeah, no problem. You're never alone. Krishna is in your heart. So, with devotees or without devotees, we can read Bhagavatam. Alone, what is the problem? We can read Bhagavatam. In fact, sometimes alone is easier. Less distraction. You and your book, you can spend whole Sunday. So read. No rule for reading.
No, sometimes what happens, of course, when we read Prabhupada's book, that's fine. But otherwise, some sort of when we do not understand, speculation comes in mind, and when we read alone.
Keep reading. Keep reading. If you have questions, you note it down. When you get the next opportunity, you can ask. Keep reading. Okay. Next question. Yes.
Can you please explain what is Vedanta philosophy?
Vedanta. See, Vedanta Sutra, which Vyasa wrote, that is a summary of all the literature he wrote in a concise form. Sutra means formula, like E is equal to MC square. A formula. But if you want to explain it, it will require a book. Similarly, he wrote a formula. Janmadi asayataha. That's one formula. Tattvam asi. There's another formula. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. That's another formula. So Vedanta Sutra is formulas of the final knowledge of Vedanta. And the final knowledge of Vedanta is A, Krishna is the absolute truth. B, each one of us is a soul, part and parcel of Krishna. And C, we need to serve Krishna. So Vedanta Sutra is divided into three parts: Sambandh, Abhidaya, Prayojan. Sambandh means knowledge of me, Krishna, and my relationship with Krishna. Abhidaya means the practice, do's and don'ts. On the relationship, there is a practice, the do's and don'ts. And Prayojan is final goal, that's love of God. Abhidaya is sadhana bhakti, which we do. So that's in short. Same Vedanta Sutra is explained the formulas are opened up in a longer way in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra because they are written by the same author. So we refer to Srimad Bhagavatam as final. And Srimad Bhagavatam starts with Janmadi Asayataha. That's how Vedanta Sutra starts. Janmadi Asayataha. Next question. Yes, Abhiram. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, come.
Question mark.
Mm.
Just wondering one thing. We always start with the Bhagavatam. Okay. Somewhere in India, I hear we do also have some qualities or some eligibility criteria even to read Bhagavatam.
To read.
Yeah, Bhagavatam.
No, to read any. Go ahead.
So, and there is one more thing I just want to ask with you in addition with that. Okay. Whenever we went to the lectures, several, seminars, so there always, they says, always listen Bhagavatam from Uttama Bhagavatam. So can you elaborate these points?
Okay. So to read Bhagavatam, no qualification is required. To give a Bhagavatam class, some qualification is required. But to read, no qualification is required. Anybody can pick up and read. Right? Then only you become qualified. We become qualified by reading. Before reading, how nobody is born from mother's womb qualified. By reading, he becomes qualified. So no qualification required to read. Of course, hand should be clean, take a bath, etc. It's good. But no qualification required. And one should hear Bhagavatam, from a Bhagavat, from a person who follows Bhagavat, one who walks his talk, one who speaks and follows same his class. When we hear, then our heart will get transformed. Otherwise, it will not work. So we should hear from a person who is Bhagavat, who has the qualities mentioned in Bhagavatam, which means he should be serious in his chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra minimum 16 rounds every day, attending Mangalarati, Guru Puja, and Narasimha Tulsi Aarti. He follow very strictly 4 regulative principles, and he is coming in a sampradaya, and his character is beyond doubt. His behavior is perfect, his etiquette is perfect, his senses are in control, and is intelligent enough, and he doesn't have financial or opposite gender relation issues in his character, and he preaches only for the purpose of purifying rather than earning money or something like that. So, one who is seriously practicing, you can hear from such a person. Okay. Next question. Yes.
Maharaj, I just want to ask you, the other day in the class you mentioned that when you have a house, you have a separate room for Krishna. But as far as I'm concerned, I feel having the order where we are moving all the time, then when cooking or going to the room or going to the room, we are constantly reminded of Krishna. And I don't know, I feel Krishna also sees us all the time when we are doing things. Is that a good thing?
Yeah, so don't call this your house. The whole house is Krishna. We should see that way. Everything belongs to Krishna. And we serve Krishna perfectly, very nicely. When Krishna gets his room, he gets more freedom of privacy.
But then only
So-
when we enter the room, we are able to see him, so.
So you have both. You have photos of Krishna everywhere. But this is fine. It is fine. That is better. It is fine. No problem. Continue. So the room should be such that whenever you are walking around the house, that room comes in between. The door is open. You can always see the Lord. Like people keep TV. Wherever they are in the house, the TV is visible. That's how they keep the center of the house. You can keep Krishna like that. But that's fine. You give this room to Krishna. So when we have a room, it becomes a temple room. So more etiquette is followed there. You become more alert of Krishna's presence. Now the attitude changes. You cannot enter that room for socializing or laughing loudly or speaking other things or loudly on the phone or something like that. The attitude changes when we go in that room. Right? When we go to temple, it the attitude like that. So it's without basking and so many things we follow like that. But that's fine. Whatever helps us in our bhakti, we continue doing. Just make sure our duties are worshipped nicely. Feed them nicely. They fulfill all your desires. Okay? So he will manage. Yes.
Yes, a question on Zoom. Sachi Mata already had love of Godhead because she loved the son Nimai. Can you please explain what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu meant when he said she cannot have love of Godhead because she's an offender?
Yeah. So Sachi Mata had love for Nimai as motherly love, which all mothers have for children. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was referring to Krishna Prem, which he was distributing freely all over Mayapur. And Sachi Mata was playing just the part of mother, not a devotee. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said he will not get love unless Advaita Acharya forgives him. Just to teach whole of Mayapur, all the devotees, even today devotees, that without clearing Vaishnava Aparadh, we cannot get Krishna Prem. So he used Sachi Mata as an instrument. Originally she is Yashoda Maiya, of course she has Krishna Prem. So this was just like Arjuna was put into ignorance so that he can ask questions. And we got Bhagavad Gita. But Arjuna is not into ignorance. He was put into ignorance by Krishna. So we get Bhagavad Gita. So Sachi Mata's pastime is arranged by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so that we learn the challenge of Vaishnava. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
So in the case of Sachimata, she knew who she had offended, so she could ask for forgiveness. But in my case, I'm offending 20, 30, 40 people at a go. So hard to know who.
Make a list. Make a list and start from person number 1.
Is there an easy way to do every?
No, it's easy. If you offend somebody, we should beg forgiveness. If you're not aware whom we offended, we beg forgiveness from the whole community.
Oh.
And we beg forgiveness from the deities. But we should be alert so that we are knowing who is hurt. If somebody is not responding to you, should understand he's upset on me. Let me go and ask him what happened, Prabhu. Did I offend you? Right? Generally, we should know who is hurt by us. It's good to know. So we can go and clear it up. We should be sensitive. Not that I hurt so many people, I don't even keep the track. No, that is PhD in offense. Let's not become expert. Become expert Mridanga player, harmonium player, cook, pujari, book distributor. Don't become expert in that area. I'm just joking. So, yeah, we should keep a track. If somebody is upset with us, we should try to take us. If you are not aware, at least we should pay obeisances to everybody. So by paying obeisances, like early morning, we pay obeisances to all the devotees in the temple. The unintentional or minor offenses are taken care of. And at least if you're not aware, but those who are aware, at least you start with that. If not. After every service, we should beg forgiveness and pay obeisances. On the same time, it's over. Right? Like pujaris, when they offer aarti or blessing to Krishna, at the end they beg forgiveness. That my dear Lord, if any offenses. So same day is over. No carry forward. Next question. Yes, Prabhu.
When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Benares, Varanasi, so from my reading, I understand that the whole community became devotees. There were very little Mayavadis or none left. So, what is the current situation in Benares like? Are they still following that Mayavadi philosophy, or
whole world is following? Yeah, there are devotees also. There are Mayavadis also. Even in Vrindavan, there are Mayavadis. Whole world is bereft of Krishna consciousness.
can you just further explain what Mayavadi means? Because Prabhupada mentioned that in the literature so many times.
So, the absolute truth is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has a beautiful form. So, those who think the absolute truth is formless, and the form of Krishna is made of matter, that's Mayavad. And they think each one of us is also absolute truth, formless, absolute truth. But now we are under Maya. Once we practice penance and read Vedanta Sutra, we will escape Maya and we merge with the same absolute truth and become absolute truth. So they finally claim that each one of us has come under Maya. And each one of us is God, absolute truth. So God has come under Maya, so Mayavad, because they give Maya higher importance than God. If God can come under Maya, then Maya is more powerful. That's Mayavad. So Mayavad Bhashile Sunile Hoile Sarvana. Very dangerous philosophy. That I am God. Krishna is matter. Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy is Krishna is supreme absolute truth, supreme personality of Godhead, Samam Gunam, has a beautiful transcendental form. And we are not Krishna, we are part and parcel. Achintya Veda Veda. Inconceivably, simultaneously oneness and difference. We are equal to Krishna in quality, but unequal in quantity. So we are servants. So we should revive our constitutional position as servant of Krishna and serve him with love. Okay, we'll end here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.